After living with a spinal cord injury for about, let's say, 15 years, I didn't have the opportunity to travel. And I was able to find a caregiver that used to work with me that decided to relocate in Jamaica. So I found it as a great opportunity for me to go and actually enjoy myself a little bit. I haven't traveled since I became disabled since 2008. So it was quite um, a lot of time has passed by that I haven't really taken on the opportunity. And also thinking about traveling with disability, it's not something simple. There's so much layers that you have to go through, and also just making sure that you have everything that you need, especially when you go to the airport. You have to make sure that you have a bunch of things. For example, my wheelchair has to be checked in. I have to bring a mechanical lift to lift me up from my chair to the bed. I have to bring my commode chair, which is to use the washroom too as well. So it's not just as simple as just booking your ticket and say, hey, I'm going to Jamaica for a trip. So from the start, I had to book the trip first. Then I have to contact the medical service team where they will provide me a whole bunch of medical forms for me to go fill out my doctors. If I'm able to fly by myself, if I can't, I have to have a caregiver with me. Technically, I was not supposed to travel alone simply because I'm a complete quad, which I'm paralyzed from my neck down. They require you to be able to put on a face mask in case of emergency. They require you to be able to use the washroom by yourself. But hey, when you're a quadriplegic, even when you have a caregiver, you cannot do any catheterization on the plane. So you have to really make sure you prepare yourself, not drink as much water so you don't have a situation on the plane. Once I got to the resorts, I was very eager to get on the water, get in the sand. But having a wheelchair, I didn't really think through that I'll be able to get there, because while I was here in Toronto using the summertime, I'll go to a different beach, but one of the barriers is that my wheelchair cannot go any further from the pavement to the beach sand. So in Jamaica, I was a little bit worried that I'll be going on a trip, but on top of that, I will not be able to get into the water or the sand and stuff. So it was a little bit frustrating the first day that I got there. But as I inquired little by little, I asked one of their hotel supervisors, and they told me, hey, we have this wheelchair. It's called water mobile wheelchair. It's like a beach wheelchair where they transfer you into the wheelchair and they wheel you right on the grass. I mean, on the sand. So at first, it was a little bit skeptical because I wasn't really sure how they're gonna do it. They didn't have any mechanical lift that would have lifted me up. So once they brought it, it was this yellow. It's a wheelchair, blue wheelchair with big tires. Look like you're gonna be going through some military action or so. So definitely, when they brought it, one of the gentlemen was very nice and they're very helpful. They manually lift me up from my wheelchair and placed me into the beach water wheelchair. So they were able to roll me right on the sand, and I was able to just kind of relax, feel normal. Didn't feel there's any barriers standing in my way. It gave me the confidence that, wow, this is something that I needed. So that was the second day while I was there. On the third day, I'm like, okay, I have to build my tolerance. Yeah, I should get into the water. So they transferred me again, got my beach, my swimming stuff on and everything. And when they transferred me, they were able to push me all the way in the water. And the beach wheelchair actually floats. So it's like basically being in your own floating device while in the Caribbean, just enjoying life. I never thought like the beach water was so salty. That's something I didn't even know. Once I got into the water, I felt like somebody's throwing like some salt in my mouth or so. But definitely it was a great experience, and definitely something that I would take advantage of again. After my trip going to Jamaica, I received a call from, there was a team that was doing a survey to really understand how to properly provide accommodation for individuals with physical disabilities when traveling. And this study was done by Air Canada. They provided multiple people with opportunity around Canada to travel to various places to kind of get a feel of how it feels like to travel with disability and what they could do to improve their service when it comes down to the complicated steps of providing accommodation with people with disability. They wanted us to give them our 100% feedback on exactly how what we did like and what we didn't like. First, they asked me to book a service through just a call-in, booking a service with Air Canada, and see how the process was. So first, when you call, you do your regular thing by calling and telling them where you want to go. I did a domestic flight from Toronto to Vancouver. Once I booked the trip, I had a caregiver with me that I needed to take with me. And so in Canada, the good thing about the transportation system is when you're traveling with disability, your caregiver gets to come with you free. So traveling to Vancouver, I was when I contacted Air Canada and let them know that I have a medical need and I need my caregiver to travel with me. So they let me know that the caregiver's flight will be free if you're traveling domestic, but if you're traveling anywhere international, you have to pay for the caregiver. So what we did, we booked a trip. They asked me to get all my medical information from my doctor to let them know the kind of accommodation that I need. So if I need the oxygen, I need something that will make my trip much more safer. So my doctor filled all my medical forms and I brought it back to Air Canada. So from there we proceeded to try to secure me a seat on the plane to make sure that I get a preferred seat where I have easy access to the door and the washroom and etc. So from there, when I booked the trip, they took all my medical information. They took the measurement of my wheelchair, the type of battery it is, the measurement from my commode chair, and the measurement from my power mechanical lift to lift me up from one seat to the other. On the week before our trip, they also asked me to inquire about a mechanical lift called Ego Lift. So Ego Lift is just like a Hoyer lift, but they use this to transfer you from outside the plane and wheel you inside the plane and put you on your seat, which I thought was a very unique option. So that's how the trip went. We did the trip to Vancouver, and when we got to Vancouver, we had to do the same thing when we were checking out. But when we were coming back from Vancouver to Canada, we went through the same procedure. But once we were about to get off the plane. Technically, usually when you get on the plane, the person with disability had to go first. And when you're getting out, you're usually the last person to get out. Unfortunately, because everybody was getting out and they needed to locate my wheelchair, it took them quite some time, at least an hour, before they were able to find my wheelchair to bring it to escort me out of the plane. It was a little bit uncomfortable simply because I was left on the plane by myself for quite some time before they were able to escort me out of the plane with my caregiver on my side. So I think overall the trip was a great opportunity, and also knowing that the feedback that I gave them, they're starting to make some improvements on some of the things that I identified that they could do on their behalf to make it more easy and smooth service for individuals with physical disabilities. So one of the startup companies that I'm working on is a caregiver app that connects individuals with spinal cord injuries, any form of disabilities, with their caregiver. You could access massage therapists, physiotherapists, and especially PSW. PSW workers is very essential in a person living with a spinal cord injury, any young adult that require home care services. The concept of this app is basically to be able to connect clients with the caregiver and make it very easy. We have a very simple but also a very important interface to the app itself. We added an audio and video capability where you could basically chat and communicate with your caregiver far in advance before they come to your booking. Right now, the reason why I started this app is because I wanted to travel. I wanted to go to different places, but the hardest part was finding a caregiver within the location. With client care, you'll be able to access caregiver within any location that we have caregivers that are signed up on. Thinking about traveling as a person with disability, in Canada, definitely, actually, everywhere you go, you have to find a caregiver that, first of all, is available to come with you. The second is that for the caregiver to determine how much they're going to charge you. So think about it. You're paying for the caregiver vacation, you're paying for their service, and making sure that they're available to accommodate you on the travel, on your vacation. So if you think about it, at the end of the day, for just 1 week vacation, you could be paying thousands of dollars, which could amount to at least $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 that just for just 1 week. But the whole concept is that for you to be able to access an independent caregivers that are within your location, so they could provide a service for you, and all you got to do is just pay through the app and they receive their money. As simple as that. You can go to the US, you can go to the UK. Everywhere we go on this road, there's caregivers out there. But the harder part is just accessing them. It's something I encourage people to really take advantage of something like that, because once you have disability, especially the level of care that I need, which I'm like basically total care, where a person has to be with me one-on-one at all time. So I really appreciate the caregiver that was able to provide me the service while I was there, because they understood my service already. So even tagging this with the app itself, I was able to, this is something that I hope that other people will be able to have access to, someone that has any knowledge about caregiving, and also is able to be comfortable to provide their client with the right service that they need, because that's one of the things a lot of people with disability are scared about, not having the right person that's knowledgeable about their care. And going to Jamaica and having somebody that was able to provide my service, I hope I could be able to kind of give the same opportunity to other individuals that want to travel to Jamaica or travel to any Caribbean company, Caribbean or any vacation spots that anybody want to go to. It doesn't really have to be a vacation spot. You can go to England, Germany, anywhere that there's caregivers out there. So right now, because of my trip that I made last October, I was able to actually assist somebody else that is looking forward to traveling to Jamaica in December, because I posted some of my stuff and they inquire about it, say that how did I do it. So I gave them a lot of inside information so that they can have a safe trip and be comfortable to know that their care is going to be taken care of.